The queue to get out there. The number 1 car is driven by Jasin Ferati, driving for the Ferrari racing team. And Jasin, a very, very talented young driver. Over he will go again. Here is Jasin Ferati then, driving for the Ferrari racing team. As I mentioned, he has Giacomo Altoe, last year's Trofeo Pirelli champion, who's moved on to other racing activities right now. He's in the garage, he's on the radio, he's on the headphones, and he will be guiding the young talent that is Jasin Ferati, who Jasin I first met in sim racing a few years ago, and clearly a talented driver who has come into the Ferrari Challenge for the first time of asking this weekend here at Monza, the Temple of Speed. And as you can see, his 3rd fastest overall, but did a personal best through Sector 1, quicker than anyone through Sector 2. And if he can line up Sector 3 perfectly as he heads towards breaking the timing beam, now this could be a very good time from Jasin. Indeed it is. A 1:45.938 puts him to the top of the table. Now, Dylan was just on his way out of the pit lane. Could it be Dylan? And for whatever reason, Dylan Medler has pulled off the track. Now, he'd just come into the pit lane, just put a new set of rubber on. Frantic activity on the pit wall, I can see from the Collection Ferrari of Miami team. What has happened? We've got a red flag, inevitable, because the Dylan Medler car is stricken on the chicane. So we'll try and find out what has happened there. I just wonder. I just picked it up on the corner of my eye that a car had stopped on the exit of the chicane. I was right. And it was by process of elimination, really, that I was able to identify it being the Dylan Medler car. Jasin Ferati then currently P2 in those marshals for ensuring that we are able to enjoy the sport that we love so much. As here, Jasin Ferati then, the Ferrari racing driver, making his debut in the Ferrari Challenge this weekend here at Monza. A very welcome addition, another young talent, hoping to follow in the footsteps of Giacomo Altoe in terms of a professional racing career, courtesy of the progress you can make in the Marcialetti's garage that we were on board with there. Just for a moment, it's Hersiger. Here comes Jasin Ferati then, personal best through Sector 1. And he is another one of these very physical drivers who is quite aggressive, gives it absolutely everything. Being guided, of course, by our Trofeo Pirelli champion from last year as well. What can Jasin Ferati do here? Well, the middle sector, he was down in terms of time, Nico. Oh! And he loses the back end of the car, and he's able to get it going straight away again. But that, of course, has probably done some damage to the panel work at the back, and you can see one of the rear wings was pushed up against the tyre. So that will be the end of Jasin Ferati's qualifying session, I would suggest, Nico.
Yeah, absolutely. Luigi Colucci just was in the pit lane, and there we have another look at that. Just a little bit
sideways going in.
Yeah, and then trying to control it, but yeah, and then the back wheel into the gravel, and that really unsettled the balance of the car. It's really, really light anyway at that moment, and that was all the momentum it needed, or rather didn't need.
That was the reaction from our Trofeo Pirelli champion, Giacomo. The damaged Jasin Ferati car back into the garage. Jasin Ferati then.
When you stop here on the red flag, we are taking all the specials and goes everything okay.
Analysing, wasn't it? As he dipped into the gravel, he was able to, as you say, maintain the momentum, which meant that any advantage that Björn Grossman may have been able to take, he wasn't able to seize. Luigi Colucci undoubtedly having to do some defending here. I think you're right. I think Felix Hersiger is faster. Grossman just showing his face to the inside of Hersiger. Hersiger, of course, Nico, he's in this really difficult situation where he's got to try and attack, but what he doesn't want to do is leave himself vulnerable to Björn Grossman, who, let's be honest, would not need an invitation in the post to try and come by and take that P2 and try and take the race to Luigi Colucci. Here comes Grossman then taking a look at the inside. He's not quick enough. What he's trying to do is unsettle him. Meantime, Michael Verhagen. So the number 90 car of Vincenzo Scarpetta we could see there. And Francesco Galli and Quinn Vitalis back, all involved in a battle which is really enjoyable for us to watch. Luigi Coluccio, for my money, Nico, is pretty controlled here, and he's absorbing the pressure. But now, Hersiger gets a better exit, and Hersiger gets closer to Luigi Coluccio. Let's get a replay of the start. And start under investigation. Well, you could see a couple of cars that were running really, really close to the wall there, Nico.
Yeah, a little bit of a squeeze, and I think Verhagen was involved in that. And there you can see on the inside was Grossman. There were lots of cars going left, right, center, everywhere but the track. And there on the outside, I think that was the Scarpetta car, which had to run through the gravel as a...
The gaps that had been created, which weren't that many, to be honest, because we're still in the very early stages. Galli leading the AMS race. It's Luigi Coluccio leading the Pirelli race.
Yeah, and we now have drive-through penalties for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars, including the number more of a gap, because it would maybe, when he comes out after his penalty, drop him behind fewer cars.
Yes, just a penalty to take. So it's Jasin Ferati that would be elevated to P2. Dylan Medler, P3. So, and then for the AM drivers, it is Francesco Galli.
There's much of a gap, but I think he's coming in here.
Yeah, I think he is. So, we now have the correct order in terms of Trofeo Pirelli. In that, it is Felix Herziger from Jasin Ferati and Dylan Medler.
But obviously we focus on our leaders.
So here, Jasin Ferati then, driving for the Emil Ferrari Racing Organization. Felix Herziger, Ferrari Nico Reparto, Corsa Ramp.
He's only P5 in class, but it is a position in class, so staying
P5
out
is better than P6.
just like yesterday.
Wow.
And Jasin Ferrati's in the lead. Not sure what happened there, but once again, our leader in Pirelli, slow on the final lap. Jasin Ferati in the lead.
Well, I said earlier on, how could he repay his team that worked hard on the car following qualifying? Well, the Emil Ferrari team will be absolutely delighted. A win is a win. And the young superstar that is Jasin Ferati takes
something. I mean, I don't know how that happened. Yeah, there you can see parts coming off. Maybe there was a contact earlier or something that caused the There you go. Wow.
So that's it. Wow, what an amazing race. And you're absolutely right in what you said. You know, you just can't. You cannot afford to take your focus or attention away from the racing that we see with the Ferrari Challenge. Trofeo Pirelli, whether Pirelli or Pirelli AM. Well done to Michael Verhagen, taking the win then in... wow. You see some extraordinary racing from the Ferrari Challenge. And there, Jasin Ferati. Win's a win, Nico. It doesn't matter how you get it, truthfully.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, there is the result on screen. Jasin Ferati, Dylan Medler, Vincenzo Scarpetta, the only top 3 of Pirelli.
Emil Ferrari Racing. Giacomo Altoe, who has gone on to, you know, further his motor racing career by what he has been able to achieve through the Ferrari Challenge. Amazing, absolutely amazing. Time to do right now, but yes, I think you are right. And so 160 kilometers through Italy, down onto the Adriatic coast. And Emil Ferrari Racing then, a big name in motor racing, once again using the Ferrari Challenge as a feeder for perhaps other racing categories. And doing a very good job and bringing yet more young talent into the grid, including that of Jasin Ferati. The day didn't start brilliantly because he put it in the barriers in qualifying, therefore was further back on the grid than he would like to be. But he put it all right in the race and delivered the race win. Let's hear from Jasin Ferati. Congratulations. Anthem. Hey.
Giusto trofeo e premio anche per il team, per Emil Ferrari Racing.
Medler in. No, it was Jasin Ferati who delivered the race win. In the Trofeo Pirelli Drivers' Championship, Jasin Ferati is championship leader ahead of Gilles Remans, Björn Grossman, Vincenzo Scarpetta, Lennis Dylan Medler, Quinn Fiedler's back, Max Mugelli and Luigi Coluccio, with Felix Herziger and Jean-Luc Darrier.